The vastness of the terrace expanse sparkled with a residue of collapsed stars, like shattered diamonds suspended in the ink of space. Captain Elon Ward, human, 34, war veteran, and now part-time ambassador, stood at the observation deck of the Zalvarn embassy station, trying not to scream. Across from her floated Zyranda, high emissary of the Zalvarn collective. 10 feet tall when fully extended, all sinuous limbs and bioluminescent membranes, Zyron had no discernible face, only an ever-shifting pattern of glowing fractals that shimmered with thought and emotion. It was supposed to be a routine diplomatic mission. Translation: smile politely, talk trade agreements, avoid triggering interstellar war. But this, you're what? Elon asked again. Her voice cracked from stress and disbelief. We are now soul-joined, Zyron said gently, its voice modulated through a crystalline resonance box that made everything sound like whispered choral hymns. You spilled your blood to protect me. You sacrificed for my life. That act transcends simple gratitude. It is binding. Eternal. I just yanked you out of the fire when that reactor exploded. That's not some kind of mystical soul-bonding ritual. But it is, by Zalvarn law and custom. You have imprinted upon me the highest sacrificial honor. The Elraxi bond. Elin groaned. That was 2 weeks ago. You never mentioned any of this until now. Zyron's membranes dimmed slightly. A sign of what Elin had learned was sheepishness. We wanted to be sure the bond was stable before we revealed its permanence. Permanence? She echoed, almost gagging. You cannot leave, Zyron said with serene finality. We are bonded in mind, purpose, and should the need arise, fate. You cannot go anywhere without me now. Elin collapsed into a cushioned grav chair. This is some serious first contact fine print. It had started with the usual galactic drama. Smugglers moving illegal Varn crystals through human-controlled space. Elin had tracked the cargo to a shady outpost on the edge of neutral territory. She didn't expect a Zalvarn diplomat to be caught in the middle of a hostage situation. But when everything went south, Elin, as always, chose action over protocol. She stormed the compound, took a plasma bolt to the shoulder, and still dragged Zyron out just before the smuggler's reactor overloaded. She'd been called a hero, given medals. Zyron had personally thanked her and offered her a Zalvarn blessing. She'd assumed it was ceremonial. Apparently not. A week later, Elin's ship, the Argo's Fire, wouldn't launch. Her security clearance had been revoked. Her command codes overwritten. Zyron appeared on the platform, glowing like a celestial jellyfish, and calmly said, "Why would you leave without me, my bonded?" Elin had stared at the alien in disbelief. "Because I'm not here to babysit some glowing squid for the rest of my life. You misunderstand. You're not my caretaker. You are my equal, my soul reflection. We are meant to walk the cosmos together. No offense, Jay, but I don't do eternal partnerships. I'm the fly and save the day leave before it gets weird type." Zyron floated closer, its limbs folding around her like a gentle cage. "But you've already made it weird. You touched my essence. You bled for me. In Zalvarn culture, there is no greater sign of unity." Elin backed away. "This is cultural kidnapping." Zyron tilted its main body. "I do not understand this idiom. You wish to be taken elsewhere. I can summon a ship." Elin buried her face in her hands. This can't be happening. Over the next few days, she tried everything. Appealing to the human embassy, attempting to hack her ship systems, even trying to sneak aboard a passing freighter. But Zyron always appeared, calmly thwarting her plans. "You are not a prisoner," it said one night, after intercepting her at Dock 9. "You are my other half. You may explore anywhere you wish, as long as we are together. Elin snapped. That's the definition of a prisoner. Zyron shimmered with what she suspected was sadness. You still do not understand. But you will. She tried to resist. She raged. She sulked. But Zyron never retaliated. Never threatened. It simply existed beside her. And in time, Elin began to notice something odd. Her old shoulder injury regenerated. Her reflexes sharper. Her senses enhanced. Am I different? She asked one morning. We are synchronizing, Zyron said softly. Your neural patterns now resonate with mine. You are becoming more than human. Not less. Never less. Elin rubbed her temples. You're changing me. I am elevating you. She should have felt horrified. Instead, she was intrigued. Started small. She began communicating with Zyron without words. Just feelings, impressions. When she was angry, it flooded her with calm. When she was lost, it guided her. Then came the dreams. Vivid, impossible dreams of swimming through stellar rivers, dancing on magnetic winds, hearing the voices of long-dead stars. She'd wake up gasping, yearning to return. And she realized, they weren't just dreams. They were memories. Zyron's memories. Or now their memories. One night, she stood on the observation deck, bathed in the pulsing glow of a dying quasar. Zyron hovered beside her, silently. You didn't trap me, she said finally. Zyron's glow dimmed. I would never. I bonded with you before I even realized it. When I pulled you out of the fire, I wasn't thinking. I just knew I had to save you. Instinct, Zyron murmured. No. Choice. She turned to face it. And now I'm choosing again. Zyron tilted its body in question. I'm staying. Not because I have to. But because I want to know what comes next. For the first time, Zyron extended a limb. Not as a shield, not as a tether, but as a bridge. Elin took it. They traveled. Oh, how they traveled. Past the nebula gardens of Lurien, where stars bloomed like orchids. Through the singing void, where time flowed sideways and thoughts became gravity. They resolved diplomatic crises by synchronizing with entire planetary councils. They stopped a rogue AI cult from converting a moon into a sentient war engine. Elin wasn't just stronger now. She was more. She saw the universe not in terms of conquest or conflict, but connection. And always Zyron was there. Not as her captor, but as her partner. Then came the real test. The Verni hive had returned, old enemies of both humanity and the Zalvarn. Swarming in dark clusters, they consumed biospheres, devoured stars, left only cold silence in their wake. The Zalvarn High Council convened. The humans sent warships. But both species knew. The hive couldn't be fought with brute force. They resonate on a different frequency, Zyron said. They are immune to fear. To reason. But not to connection, Elin realized. She and Zyron volunteered for the link. Using their shared resonance, they approached the hive's mind core. A seething, chaotic mesh of thousands of species long consumed. Elin reached out, not with weapons, but with the bond. I see you, she said, her voice carried across neural fire. Zyron amplified her signal. And slowly, the chaos quieted. The hive didn't stop, but it paused. For the first time in millennia, it listened. And then it turned inward. Feeding on itself in confusion, searching for identity. And in that pause, life had a chance to escape. The war was not won, but a massacre was averted. They returned heroes, legends, ambassadors of a new kind of unity.